A grand statue stands tall amidst the ruins. The group arrives at the site, amazed. One girl wonders if this is the land of divine flames, but it looks more like a modern city's ruins. They soon recognize the location. It's the ruins of Jongnan City, confirmed by the familiar tower still standing in the skyline. One girl excitedly searches for the famous Shadow Brother, hearing he's already arrived. Her companion reminds her he's a stealth master, he's probably already hidden. Two red monsters burst from the ground, ambushing the group. Wang Meng warns everyone about the incoming threat. The mage girl raises her staff and casts a protection spell, enveloping the warrior in a glowing barrier just in time. The monsters charge straight at them with menacing speed, jaws wide open and eyes glowing red. Wang Meng braces behind his shield, enduring a direct hit as the damage numbers flash across the screen. The mage warns the team that even regular monsters here hit harder than silver-ranked bosses near town. The archer activates a skill and releases a glowing arrow with immense force, targeting the charging creature. The monster is struck directly and bound tightly by the skill's energy, halting its movement mid-air. The mage concentrates her power while her teammate urges everyone to go all out while the monster is crowd-controlled. The mage raises her staff high and casts a powerful, prophetic fireball spell. Two massive fireballs explode directly onto the monsters, engulfing them in intense flames. The team celebrates their victory as the monsters fall. The impact was strong, and their teamwork paid off. The leader tells Xiaoxu to send her owl to scout the area from above, and she calmly agrees, readying her staff. Xiaoxu's owl surveys the area from above and sees a horde of monsters flooding the streets. There's no sign of any safe zone nearby. The group is shocked to hear there's no safe area. One member remarks how this continent feels more like a brutal survival game now. The girl urgently asks if the owl can find the shadow boss. She believes if they find him, they'll be safe. The owl flies ahead to scout, but returns with bad news: there's no trace of anyone. The group notices a glowing trail of monster drops in the northwest. They conclude it must be the work of the shadow boss, who likely didn't collect the loot because his inventory was full. As they move forward, more monsters appear and block their path. A girl urges them to follow the glowing trail. It's safe since the shadow boss already cleared that path of monsters. They begin moving quickly in the direction of the glowing trail, staying alert and sticking together. More red monsters appear, charging fiercely through the streets toward the lone figure. Blue slashes pierce the air as the shadow strikes instantly, slicing through all the monsters in a blink. Shadow comments that even without his ultimate skill boost, the damage is massive, up to 30,000 total. For weak monsters, this place is like a grinding paradise. He arrives at a deserted crosswalk and remarks that this is the perfect spot, his hidden base. He recalls that beneath this ruined city lies a massive underground palace. In his past life, it remained hidden for a long time. The palace had thousands of rooms for resting and dozens of large hall zones. It served as the largest hideout in Zhonghai City and was the main base of his former guild/god. Before it was taken over, this hideout was essentially an underground city, filled with mechanical monsters and a powerful guardian boss. The larger the hideout, the stronger its guardian. In his previous life, he created the /God Guild, assembled 3 elite teams, and only after reaching level 15 with full gear could they clear this palace together. He descends into a massive underground chamber, determined that this time will be different. As he reaches the depths of the soul purification zone, enemies begin to emerge around him. He confidently declares that he alone is enough to handle this place. A system prompt appears, stating he will gain control of the area upon defeating the Guardian. Several ominous and powerful Guardians react to his presence. Shadow faces off against multiple glowing elemental spirits of different colors as they prepare to strike. He identifies them as level 12, gold-ranked monsters known as the Elemental Spirits, and strikes one without hesitation. He activates a powerful skill, Darkest Moment, plunging the surroundings into a surge of dark energy. The Guardians are overwhelmed and stunned, visibly losing control and focus as the dark energy takes hold. He unleashes Shadow Slash, sending countless glowing blades slicing through the enemies from above. He dashes forward, cloaked in blue energy, cutting through enemies in a seamless combo. The entire room erupts with glowing slashes as the stunned monsters are overwhelmed and shredded. With calm confidence, he notes that all his attacks deal bonus damage to stun targets, making these level 12 enemies fall instantly. After clearing all 15 minor monsters in the hall, Shadow surveys the vast underground space. Dozens of chambers and thousands of rooms await. He notes that given the massive number of monsters in this hidden zone, fully clearing them will be a massive undertaking. He approaches a raised platform, planning to eliminate all remaining monsters in the area to trigger the next phase. Suddenly, a glowing guardian entity materializes in front of him. It's the protector of this hidden zone. A blue teleportation circle activates beneath them. Light engulfs their bodies. They materialize in a completely different place, a ruined, sunlit street covered in rubble. The duo looks around in shock. The boy is surprised by the desolate state of the place, while the girl finds the surroundings oddly familiar. Their eyes land on the crumbling Statue of Liberty in the distance. Realization hits. They've arrived in a ruined version of New York City. Gazing at a ruined city, one of them identifies it as the remains of Mountain City. Elsewhere, the group witnesses the destruction of a massive bridge. One of them recognizes the site as the ruins of London, shocked by the devastation. The duo begins to piece things together. They speculate that people are being teleported to the ruins of cities from their respective regions, suggesting a mysterious logic behind the transport. Just as they process this theory, they notice something alarming in front of them. Two creatures with long necks suddenly appear before the duo. Realizing the danger, they quickly decide to run for their lives. As they flee in panic, a massive explosion goes off behind them, shaking the area near the ruined Statue of Liberty. In Zhanghai ruins, several glowing orbs of light rise above the waterline. Elsewhere, Wang Meng hides in a crater. Noticing that there are no monsters nearby, one of them suggests they take a moment to recover before moving again. The group hides in cover. The girl admires the strength of the shadow who cleared the monsters, admitting they had overestimated their own power. The mage girl expresses relief that the area was cleared beforehand, otherwise they wouldn't have survived. She wonders where they would respawn if they had died here. Wang Meng advises his team to avoid rushing into battle. He suggests waiting until everyone reaches level 10 before moving forward together. The girl beside him agrees calmly. The owl watches from above as golden particles drift between buildings. She notes how all the monsters seem to have died here and finds it odd that the shadow hero vanished without a trace. Spotting valuable loot below, she feels tempted to collect it. Wang Meng looks at the wreckage and mentions contacting Shadow to see if he still wants any of the leftover items. Elsewhere, a blade of energy cuts through two monstrous creatures in a flash. Surrounded by glowing golden energy, Shadow calmly states that all minor monsters have finally been wiped out. As golden energy floods the hall, it's revealed that Shadow cleared over 40 large halls and hundreds of rooms, eliminating more than 400 monsters. Along with that, he defeated 4 bronze tier bosses and 2 silver tier bosses, gaining a massive amount of experience and pushing his evolution points to 205. He mentions he only needs 5 more points to unlock a powerful new evolution. One of his allies tries contacting him, offering to return uncollected loot found near the monsters he killed. Shadow realizes that Wang Meng's official team has also arrived in the area. He tells them he'll reach out later, as he plans to sell a batch of gear. They provide their coordinates and wait for his arrival inside the ruins. Suddenly, blue electricity crackles across the floor as Shadow prepares to move. With a burst of energy, Shadow launches forward across the electrified ground. Shadow calmly announces the arrival of the Guardian as blue lightning flickers around him. The boss, Purifier, Fail, a level 15 elite, emerges from an electric vortex. It's introduced as the highest tier guardian of the ruins, and defeating it would grant ownership of the domain. Shadow recalls from his past life that this boss had a total of 750,000 GP and attacked in 3 stages. Previously, even fully equipped with legendary golden gear, Shadow had struggled against the boss's lightning skills. But now, he boldly declares he doesn't even need to defend against its single target attacks. Shadow activates his skill, Shadow Slash, instantly surrounding the Guardian boss with a flurry of electrified blade trails. The boss is struck from multiple angles, unable to respond to the overwhelming speed and power of the attack. A powerful slash pierces straight through the boss's chest, causing it to stagger as dark energy bursts from the wound. The boss's body is launched backward by the force of the strike. lightning and energy scattering violently as it begins to fall apart. Lightning projectiles rain down from above as Shadow dashes through the battlefield. The impact of each bolt is devastating, and he knows that a single hit could be fatal with his current resistance stats. Despite the danger, Shadow remains calm. With 75% evasion, normal enemies struggle to land hits, but elite bosses like this still have a 50% chance to hit due to accuracy bonuses. Now, his agility stat has reached 182. His sprint speed exceeds 40 meters per second, allowing him to weave through the barrage with precision. By observing the pattern of the strikes, he manages to dodge before they land. In his past life, he had to rely on shields and sheer luck to survive this boss with a full team. But this time, his sharp eyes and speed prove that things will be different. Shadow closes in with blazing energy, landing a critical strike using a combo of his blade skills. His attack shreds 250,000 GP from the boss in an instant. He declares that he won't give the boss any chance to fight back. The boss enters its second phase. Shadow remembers that in this stage, it continuously generates electric spheres and lightning bursts. The key is to destroy the spheres first, otherwise, the boss will go berserk. Shadow recalls that in his previous life, his team was wiped out by this phase's brutal damage. One of his allies, traumatized by the event, refused to continue the fight afterward. Reflecting on that moment, Shadow remembers excluding her from the team the second time. Ironically, they succeeded without her, but the experience left a lasting impact. Shadow launches poison-throwing needles at one of the floating electric spheres. Each hit causes the boss to flinch in pain, linking the spheres to its health. He recalls that for every sphere destroyed, the boss takes proportional damage. It's a direct way to weaken it without engaging head-on. Shadow prepares to destroy all 3 spheres, knowing this will trigger the transition into the third and final phase of the fight. One of the poison needles hits its mark. The boss's health drops visibly, inching closer to its next transformation as Shadow maintains his relentless pressure. The boss enters its third phase, releasing powerful circular shockwaves of electricity across the floor. Shadow calmly watches as the boss unleashes its ultimate area attack. He recalls how, in his previous life, his entire guild had to equip special lightning-resistant gear and rely on 4 healers just to barely survive this stage. But this time, Shadow confidently states that he doesn't need such a complicated setup. His tone shows complete control over the battle. As the boss charges up another devastating move, Shadow levitates above it within a glowing golden sphere.
This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video.